Another really important thing we're going to talk about throughout the course is avoiding injuries. I can talk about this because I've had some trouble, a lot of trouble with my right shoulder. In fact, it's stopped me practicing the way I want for years, which is kind of too bad. Right? So it's like any physical activity with your body has some risk, especially the more you do it, the more the risk. Because if you do it a lot, there's all kinds of repetitive strain syndromes that might happen. A lot of people do poi, they never have a problem. But some people do. They might have trouble with their wrists if they play, usually when they play a lot. And this is usually people start playing hours a day. Right? It's rarely with people who play a little bit. But in case you get addicted, the more addicted you get, the more you need to just be wise with your body. So usually the two troubles is wrists and usually the shoulder. That's the one that we need to give love to the most. So your shoulder is a very complicated joint, and it's meant to be in move within a certain power zone, not so much into extreme positions. And if you're playing a lot in extreme positions, you can develop problems. Also in the beginning with the basics, that's also usually not such a trouble, because the basics of poi aren't very extreme positions. So we're not going around our backs, and we're not doing all this complicated stuff behind our heads. We're doing pretty simple movements, a lot of which is in the power zone. But there's still some general ways to be kind to your body. And the most important one, I'm told by various physiotherapists, is simply warming up. That means literally warming your body up and kind of loosening up before you start doing too much. And that can be done partially with poi and partially without. So for instance, you roll out of bed in the morning, you're all cold, don't pick up your poi and immediately start working on something complicated. Right? That's kind of a recipe for developing a problem. Better, wake out of bed, go for the walk, right? Or go up and down the stairs a few times. Or put some music on and start doing some gentle movements and stretching and maybe some gentle yoga. Or just wiggle, right? Or do some power squats, but gentle power squats. You slowly get your body moving, your heart rate up until there's a little bit of sweat maybe. And then okay, I'm feeling warm, I'm feeling a little sweaty, I'm feeling loose. And as you warm up and loosen up, your body's more and more able to go into funny positions. And more where it'll be good for your body. So there's 1,000 ways to do this. There's 1,000 ways to warm up. I'm going for a really gentle little jog is great. Sometimes I'll go for a walk and I'll just kind of be power walking. So as I'm walking, I'm moving more and more, or I'm walking along and I'm pumping my arms or going like this. Just as it all slowly warms up. It looks a little silly, but it's a nice way to warm up. And to some degree, you can, as you warm up, start using your poi. But the idea is to start gentle. So maybe you've got your poi and you're just swinging them. Right? Just feeling the sway of the poi, the sway of your body, breathing, and loosening up into the movement. So you get looser and looser and looser. And as you get looser and looser, explore further and further. Right? Maybe doing a weave, but be gentle. One of the secrets is really to breathe. This is what Dan, Burning Dan really brought this into my life. He came to a retreat once and he introduced the game Breathe along with Jessica, T-Fairy. And the game was, anytime anybody in the group felt like they were tensing up or getting frustrated or holding their breath, they need to go and say out loud, breathe. And everybody else playing who realizes that they were also getting tense yells back, breathe. And this became this game that happens at all the poi retreats, and it's kind of beautiful because people, they seem to get it and they play it. And it always makes me so happy when people start playing the game. And then what happens, you see the whole group relaxing and getting more playful and getting looser and remembering to relax. And I have to constantly, I'm playing guitar now, I'll be playing along, my jaw will be, and we go, breathe. Right? And it works better. So, we'll come back to this, but just keep that in mind, that every time you go to play, give yourself that time to slowly warm up, And anything, as you get into the poi, say you get to the point you're doing a weave, just start with a gentle weave and see how relaxed you can be, right? How your whole body can move with it until you can go bigger and bigger and bigger, and you ease your body into the movements. And then once you're all warm and limber, the sky's the limit, you start to really dance and play. And in the end, it's you needing to, listen to your body. Where if something hurts, give that, pay attention to that. Maybe put the poi down. I don't think that's going to happen in the Poi Basics series. I think you're starting, they're simple movements. If you give yourself at least a little time to warm up, it's all going to be fine. But if you progress onwards and play a lot, that's where you need to pay more and more attention to this. But it's always valuable anyway, because it's always part of the fun and it always feels good. So remember that every time you play, and I'll be remembering to remind you.